Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Man, oh man, what a time to be a Marvel fan, everybody. Shang-Chi is about to launch, Eternals is gearing up, and we just got the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser trailer. A 3-minute teaser trailer. Welcome to Chaos Multiverse, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. This video is going to be a deep dive and in-depth at every single Easter egg that we found in the trailer. Now, there's some stuff in here that is going to be the obvious ones, but there's a lot of references that nobody's talking about. Nobody's talking about things like a Miles Morales connection in this, which there actually was. There's a lot to unpack, and we are going to go through everything. Now, we are not going to be doing this in order, so we will be jumping around this trailer, looking at all the different Easter eggs. You let me know if there's something that you saw that nobody else did. Put it in the comment section. Thank you for all the love on the channel, guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed with your notifications turned on, because we are just getting started here on the Chaos Multiverse, and we're giving away a PS5 every single month. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed, have those notifications on, and any video you want to, drop a like and leave a comment who your favorite Marvel character is, and include your Twitter handle. Now let's get started. Let's get some of the obvious ones out of the way before we really dive into some things that a lot of people missed, because there was a lot of cuts in this trailer that went by super fast and people missed it. And Marvel, they're all about misdirect. So we're going to keep that in mind as we move forward. The first one, come on. The Green Goblin pumpkin bomb. Correlated with William Dafoe's voice, it's obvious that this is William Dafoe's Green Goblin, and I love the fact that they use the OG pumpkin bomb to roll across the ground on the bridge. Everybody probably gasped when they saw this. So, as we go through this, that's Sinister 6, number 1. The next one is Electro. That's right, the big scene where you see all the yellow lightning, and instead of blue lightning like in the movie, we have the yellow lightning like the comics, which is pretty cool. And this scene actually looks to me like it reveals 2 more members of the Sinister Six, because at the same time that you see Electro's yellow lightning bolts, you also see a massive sandstorm in the same picture, which of course correlates straight to Sandman. But we're going to talk about this picture a little more in a minute, because I think there's something here that a lot of people missed. Now, let's go to, what would this be? Member number 4? Yeah, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock. As soon as you see that mechanical arm come out of the bottom of the bridge, you already knew. But here's the kicker with this one, guys. Everybody assumed he was talking to Peter Parker, aka Tom Holland. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think he would even know, he would even be familiar with that version of Peter Parker. I strongly feel, and this is where Marvel likes to cut things and move things around and misdirect, I strongly feel that Doc Ock is talking to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I really do. I think this could be one of the major battles that you're seeing on the bridge here, and maybe at this time in the movie, they have already come together to do it. No, we don't have any confirmation that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in the movie. There was nothing teased in the trailer, but come on. It's the worst kept secret on the internet. It has to happen, especially with all these Sinister Six villains making their way in, and we already know that Doctor Strange and Peter are going to really, really mess things up. So that's my best guess as to who he's actually talking to. I think he's very familiar with Tobey Maguire, and I think that's when he says, "Hello, Peter." I think that's who he's talking to. Keep that in mind. Next one was a really, really cool Easter egg. If it was a mistake, it was great, but I don't think it was. I think they planned it all along. If you guys have watched Wandavision, there was a moment in there where they were looking at a calendar, and on that calendar, there was a little heart, and that calendar's month actually was sitting on August. Guess what day the heart was on? You can see it on the screen now. Yes, the heart was on the 23rd. We got the trailer drop on the 23rd, and if that is how it actually worked, then Sony never, ever, ever had any worries about when they were releasing it. There was no panic or anything months ago to get this out. They already knew when they were releasing it, and they teased it in WandaVision way earlier, because not only was it teased when we watched it on Disney Plus, but they had to have put that in there before that in production. So they knew a long time ago the target date that they wanted to drop the actual Spider-Man teaser trailer. Now let's move on. I told you guys at the beginning of the video, there was a Miles Morales teaser, a connection, an Easter egg, and this is 100% true. I see people on the internet, why don't we get a Miles Morales teaser? You know he's coming eventually, right? Well, here's your setup. Peter is running through, Tom Holland's Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is running through a building in his new black and gold suit. It's a very quick sequence, and he's running through what looks like a cafeteria. It's actually a cafeteria for Feast. If you don't know what Feast is, it's a volunteer company that helps people or misplaced people or homeless people. And if you've ever played the Spider-Man games on PlayStation, you will know that it was owned by Martin Lee. Martin Lee is also Mr. Negative. And guess what? Miles Morales volunteers at Feast. There is your connection. That is definitely a connection to Miles, but it's also a connection which could lead to the Sinister Six villain. Now, I know we only have 4 right now that we've gone over, right? Green Goblin, Electro, Sandman, and Doc Ock. Well, let's put Mr. Negative as a potential. We're not gonna confirm him or anything, but the connection is there. And I think it would be really cool if they didn't say anything about Mr. Negative, and then we got him on the big screen when we went and watched the movie, because I think a Mr. Negative on the big screen, it would be awesome. The fight scenes would be amazing. But the bigger connection is, yes, Miles Morales volunteers at Feast. Feast is in this movie. There's your connection. Get excited if you want to. Let's move on. Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko was the co-creator of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. And he was paid tribute in the very beginning of the trailer. If you see it, it's in graffiti behind Peter and MJ, and that's just a reference to the creator himself, or the co-creator. But the backstory is he didn't get paid a lot of money at all for this, which is kind of sad. He didn't get paid a lot of money for the rights of Doctor Strange or Spider-Man. If he was seeing it right now, he'd probably be upset. Now let's move on to Daredevil himself. Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox. A while back, we got some leaks and rumors that Charlie Cox actually canceled a fan event because he had alleged photo shoots in LA. And everybody put 2 and 2 together and assumed, or reshoots, not necessarily photo shoots, that he was doing something for Spider-Man No Way Home. Well, in the trailer, when Peter is getting booked or talked to, or the lawyer that he's specifically talking to, everybody thinks that this is actually Matt Murdock. And it makes a lot of sense. I don't think we'll see him in Daredevil form in this movie, but it could be a good way to introduce him into the MCU on the big screen, if you will. We'll actually talk about him in a second, about another Daredevil reference as well. Now, let's talk about the black suit for a second. The black and gold infamous suit that could have magical powers infused in it. We actually see it twice. We'll talk about the second time here in a little while. The first time is when he's running through a building, which is the building we talked about being the Feast building that was owned by Mr. Negative and Miles Morales volunteers at. That is the first time we get to see his new suit. Then we go over and we look at the astral projection scene where Doctor Strange knocks Peter straight out of his body, the same way that he got knocked out of his body in Doctor Strange, the same way that Bruce Banner got knocked out of his body. So here it is, but it's not really about the astral projection. It's about the box that Peter is holding. Yeah, what is that box? There were leaks and rumors in the past that there is some box that has to be protected or maintained to keep the sacred timeline intact at all, or to keep things from going nuts, and there's a good chance that that's the box. Maybe Doctor Strange is knocking him out of his body so he can get the box from him. We'll have to wait and see, but that is definitely a magical looking box. Speaking of the Sanctum, speaking of Doctor Strange, who is the person on the left when Peter enters the Sanctum that is shoveling snow? First, I thought it was Wong, but then if you look closer, that doesn't look like Wong. Is that an assistant? Is that somebody else? Was that Ned or MJ? I can't really tell. Were they already there? I'm not sure. But it's not Wong, so who is it? because I find it hard to believe he has a random assistant that we don't actually acknowledge in the Sanctum. So we'll have to kind of follow that one. Let's stay in the Sanctum for the next one. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, Doctor Strange has a weird vibe going in this movie. Almost a nonchalant, cavalier, hey, we saved the world, we saved the universe. I'm just going to do what I want. I'm going to wear my cape, but it's going to be on the outside of my new snow clothes, and I'm just going to chill, and I'm going to drink my coffee with my oh for fuck's sake mug, and I guarantee you whoever's selling these, they are probably flying off the shelves right now. Super, super smart. Now, let's talk about what could end up being a controversial take. We already know the Mephisto meme is forever solidified in the MCU because of WandaVision, right? What if I told you that they pulled a moment from the comics that directly connects to Mephisto? I'm not joking here. Am I saying Mephisto is in this movie? Absolutely not. But we do need to know our history, and the one moment in time storyline from the comics is being used in a huge way when you see Peter and Doctor Strange together, and he is casting the spell, and Peter won't shut up, and he messes up the spell, and that's probably what causes everything in the multiverse just to go nuts. But a lot of people aren't talking about the fact. What they're talking about is the one moment in time storyline where Peter teams up with Reed Richards and Tony Stark, and they attempt to make everybody forget Spider-Man. But the beginning of that storyline, Peter made a bargain with a mystical force. Yeah, that's right. He got the world to forget his identity by turning to Mephisto. Yep, that's right. He did. In the comics, that is what he did, which kicked off everything where Reed Richards and Doctor Strange and Tony Stark had to come in and help him. So, are we getting Mephisto in this movie? I don't think so. Was this something they did knowing that people would be like, hey, here's your Mephisto tease? Absolutely. Put your best Mephisto meme in the comment section if you want to, but that happened. That did happen. Spider-Man made a deal with Mephisto in the comics, in that one moment in time storyline. Now let's keep going. We're going to jump back to the beginning of the trailer. MJ's reading the newspaper. It's not the Daily Bugle, but the New York Post. The Daily Bugle is kind of modified after the New York Post, so I'll let you guys kind of take what you want from that. We've got spider minions on the newspaper. Not really sure what's going on there. Some people are saying that the word that's covered up is Happy, and it's talking about Spider-Man and Happy are in cohorts, and Happy may be on the run too, and then we see him what looks like getting hit by SWAT, or SWAT's coming after him. I don't know. They like to misdirect, so we'll have to wait and see. Let's jump right back really quick to Mephisto and the Daredevil. Two teases that probably have nothing to do with it, but it's fun, okay? When you see Peter's face on the billboard with the angry mob, and he has the horns coming out of his head. Could be a Daredevil tease, could be a Daredevil Easter egg, or it could be Mephisto manifesting himself once again in the MCU. I'm just playing, trying to have fun. All right, we've got a couple more to go over here. Didn't see a lot of people talking about this one, but when Peter is arrested, arraigned, or talking to his lawyer, talking to the police, he is actually talking to a DODC employee. The DODC is the Department of Damage Control. That is the department of guys, we can call them cleanup guys, that clean things up after the Battle of New York and things like that in Spider-Man Homecoming. So they are going to be part of this as well. The next thing I want to touch on is Doctor Strange. He is acting, like I said, cavalier, very just kind of, oh, I'll do what I want. We saw him tell Wong that he wouldn't cast the spell, and then he winks at Peter and he goes to cast the spell. So if you've got Doctor Strange being irresponsible and Peter messing stuff up like he does, that is probably going to lead to where we see the Sinister Six and everything just completely goes to crap. Also, we do have the leaks from the past that say Doctor Strange and Peter, Spider-Man, are going to go at it. And that's what this train scene looks like, where Doctor Strange is using his powers, he's manipulating it, making multiple trains, and Peter's in awe. I think that's a moment where they're actually kind of going at it. Are they going to be enemies? No. I have seen the rumor out there that Doctor Strange is actually Mephisto and he's going to be a bad guy down the road. No. But he's very chill. He's very calm. He's very confident, if you will. And then again, when you went through 14 million scenarios and you found the one to save the universe, you'd probably be confident as well. Now, we talked about how many Sinister Six members we had so far. Green Goblin, Electro, Sandman, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock. Well, who's the fifth? And then, of course, who's the secret six? We said Mr. Negative could be a outlier. He could be somebody that they could surprise us with. But we also have the Lizard. That's right. In this scene, and it goes by really fast, Peter turns around, something's coming through whatever, portal, whatever it is, and you hear the Lizard's roar. Truly, truly feel that's what it is. That would make 5. And if maybe Mr. Negative would be 6 or Mysterio could be 6, we'll have to wait and see. If they're going to go with the tried and true Sinister 6, they need one more. So you let me know in the comments, who do you think number 6 is? I think Mr. Negative would be a really, really left field pick. I almost forgot about what could be the most important catch that could possibly have been another Spider-Man. We don't know, but I wanted to go over it. I told you guys we'd be talking about the black and gold Spidey suit showing up twice. It actually did. So we talked about him running through the Feast building, but when Electro is introduced and Mr. Sandman, the Sandstorm, and the yellow electric currents, you can see we have Spider-Man in his black and gold suit. A lot of people caught that one, but if you pan to the left, there is something going on the left side. There is a hand there, what could possibly be another Spider-Man. It could also be a villain. I don't know. It's red, though. It's glowing, so I'm not really sure what that is, but there is something down there. So give me your best guess. Off chance, it could be one of the other Spider-Man in there. It could be Andrew Garfield, could be Tobey Maguire, or it could just be a lighting issue, or it could be a villain. But there's something in that cloud of sand. Definitely. You guys let me know what you think on that one. There we go. Let me know what you guys think. That is everything we know up until this point. If you found something else out, let us know, and I'll see you soon.